Okay, so for this lesson, I'm going to use the actual piece of paper and pencil. I think it's a little easier to explain and show you that at first you don't make a straight line, and that, kind of sketching it out a little bit will help you get to that straight line that you want. So this one's going to be easier for that. So this is what we're going to be making. This is an advanced level cube. You can see there's lots of different shapes, and it goes up. There's some rounded curves in there, and you can think about all the different things you can make with this. You can build up, you can do lots of different things. So this is just the beginning. Notice also that this is a bigger shape. So I would say it's going to take up about half of your paper. So be thinking about using a little bit more space this time for this object. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my fresh piece of paper. We're going to start out by doing our guide dots, because we're going to be making our flat foreshortened square. So again, you want your I'm going to put your guide dots right here. You don't want it to be any wider than that. My finger's probably a lot bigger than yours. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Your guide dots here. So if it doesn't shoot exactly, that's fine. You just want to make sure it's how you like it. So again, see, I'm not making straight lines at first. I'm just kind of sketching them to get that way. Okay, so then we're going to lightly draw the sides down. And then you're going to draw the middle is going to come down a little bit more. Then again, you really want to focus on what this line is right here. And this line here is going to be perpendicular to that. So, I'm sorry, not perpendicular, opposite, parallel to that line. So see how I'm just lightly sketching until I get it right. Then you're going to bring down that line. You're going to do the same thing here. You're going to be making sure that this line is parallel to this line. So you might even want to kind of move your paper and really just be eyeballing this line the whole time and just sketching out. That's why I like to use the paper versus the iPad for this, because it's easier to kind of sketch and show a straight line. So these two lines should be parallel. These two lines should be parallel. This line's kind of isn't up enough. So see how this degree is a little bit up. So I'm going to try to match that to make it a little more accurate. Okay. All right. Then you want to so what we're really looking at is we have these parallel lines, these parallel lines, these are parallel, these are parallel. Oops, not that part. And then the lines that are here we're going to be looking at in a minute too. Okay, so go ahead now. We're going to make our guide dot for the bottom part. So just put that little dot right there. Then you're going to be making lines that shoot off. You're going to go past the corner. And you're going to go past the corner on this one. These lines are really close to each other, this one and this one. So it makes it easier to see the parallel line. This one, you're going to want to have it come farther out, because what you're doing is you're making another box behind it. Mine kind of curves a little bit, so just take the time to, if you need to erase to kind of get it how you want it to be pretty exact, because that's what makes it look better. You don't want a thick line like this, but okay. So now this line, this is the northeast line right here. I'm going to put northeast because it's going in this direction. You want the line that you're going to make right here to be this parallel to this line. So you're going to be eyeballing this line when you create this line. And again, you might need to bring it out a little bit to fit that part. This line is going to be parallel to the northwest line, which is here. So this line is your northwest. This one, you want this line that you're going to be drawing to be parallel to this line. So it's a little bit tricky. You got to eyeball that. Sometimes you have to bring it out to match, to meet. So make sure this line is parallel to this line. Okay? Once you do that, then you're going to go ahead and continue making the cube. Oops, this line is shorter. This line is the longer line, shorter. Then use this line right here to make a parallel line. Bring it down if you need to. Same with this one. This line is parallel to this line. Okay, so now this is a good time to actually show you. This is not parallel to this line. Can you see how this is a lot straighter? You want the line to curve up like this. So I'm gonna erase this line. So I want it to be parallel to this line. So I'm gonna really concentrate and use my eyes. So you're really just kind of looking in the corner of your eye at that top part of your eye, so you can make, so that's a lot better. So see how it curves in? Even this one I need to fix too. Now that I fixed that and I kind of take my eye away from it, you want to just take your time, make sure that this line is parallel to this line. So that makes it a lot better for the dimensions. Okay, now you're going to go on to the next step. Now we're going to draw doors on the top level with two vertical lines on each side. So make sure our lines are actually vertical, straight up and straight down. So I'm going to draw a line here and a line here. And then you're going to draw a line here and a line here. You want these lines to be straight up and straight down. All of these vertical lines should be parallel with the edge of my paper. So look at the edge of your paper, that is straight. So if this looks like a little bit curved, I want to make sure to change it. Use the edge of your paper to make the vertical line. So that's kind of like your guideline for vertical. Okay, now we're going to draw the curved top of the doors. So we're going to curve the doors. Okay, so then remember our thickness rule that we had the other day? If the door is on the right, the thickness is on the right, and if the door is on the left, the thickness is on the left. So that means that wherever our door is going to be, we're going to add the thickness there. So the thickness is going to be here because this door is on the right, so the thickness, this door is on the right, so the thickness is going to be on the right, so the thickness is going to be on this side. So starting in the middle, I'm going to show that dimension by bringing this down like that. Okay, here this door is on the left, so I'm going to draw the thickness on the left. Just kind of start in the middle, and you're following this line down. These lines you're going to want to erase. Now we're going to do something else. We're going to draw some interesting wedges in our thing. Oh wait, actually we have one more thing to do. Now we're gonna create a visual illusion that there's a hallway room inside each door. So that means I'm gonna that means there's a hallway going through here. So I'm gonna draw a line right here. And there's a hallway going in here. So I'm gonna draw a line going right here. So that gives the dimension that there's something inside. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the wedges. Now we're gonna draw some little guide dots. So this is kind of where we're getting creative. Now we're doing ramps. So think about why we might have a ramp in a building. Maybe it's a skateboard ramp or a slide or a quick exit to get out of this building. So these are ways that you can use your imagination when you're doing your drawings. Okay, so we have two little guide dots. I actually think I'm gonna make them a little bit closer. So I would say like about a finger width away from each other. Okay, now we're gonna be drawing a vertical line. So again, look at the side of your paper to draw a vertical line, not all the way up, it's gonna stop right about here. We're gonna do the same thing here. Stopping about in the same place. Okay, now we're gonna be drawing a southwest line. So because we're facing, we're using the southwest line again for the cast shadow. So it's kind of like a cast shadow. It's kind of like the sun was here and the shadow was being cast. So that's the direction that this line is gonna go. This is your southwest line, but we're not making a cast shadow just yet. Okay, so then after you're done with that, we're gonna connect these two to each other, okay? So again, be thinking about if this line was, I'm gonna make mine come in a little bit. I think it's a little bit out too far. Then we're gonna connect, making a triangle. So go ahead and make the triangle for that. Now we're gonna draw the thickness of the ramp with two lines in the direction of northwest. So we're gonna make them in the northwest direction, which again is this way, right? So this is our northwest line right here. So we're gonna be looking at this line's northwest. You're gonna be drawing a northwest line like this. Your northwest line here will be parallel to this. So that'll be easy because it's close. So think about how close it would go. Then once you've done that, then you can lightly bring down this line, and this line should be parallel to each other. Okay, once you do that, we're gonna need to erase a few lines. You're going to want to erase this line and this line. Kind of just close it back up. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing over here. So we've drawn our vertical line here. We're gonna do the same thing with this. We're going to, again, remember we're gonna draw a southwest line. So that would be, if the sun is shining down here, what direction would it be coming in? So it's pretty much just like opposite of that one. Okay, and then once you do that, you're gonna connect these two. And then after you're done, you're gonna be creating these northeast lines. They're northeast now, so parallel to this. And then your line down here, this one's way down, but that's okay. This line here will be parallel to here and here. Okay, then you can go ahead and connect. And erase inside lines. And now you have the basic structure. I'm just gonna erase all this other stuff so you can do a little bit of erasing now. Now is the fun part, because now we get to shade, which is really, really, really fun, especially with something like this. Okay. So now we're gonna shade by, first we're gonna make our horizontal line up here. This is showing that it's not just flying in the air. We have our sun shining down right here. So position the light source, and now we're going to shade all of the surfaces opposite of our light position. So now we're going to go lightly shade all of the surfaces that are opposite the light. So that'll be here, 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 and right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause for a second, and you guys are gonna go ahead and shade all of the surfaces that are opposite our light. Okay, I just finished up shading, doing a first pass shading on those parts. You're also gonna wanna put a first pass shade way in here because it's really dark in here. There's no sun hitting in here. This is gonna be really, really dark. So you can do that little nook and cranny shadow right here. Ah, my lights just turned off in the classroom. Okay, so go ahead and shade that nook and cranny shadow. And remember, this is going to be a little bit darker, so just kind of blend it a little bit. There's going to be some shadow, but not as dark right up here. Kind of blend that in just a little bit at the top, and then it comes down just white. You're also going to have shadows that shine down. So this is kind of hard to see right now. But if you have a doorway right here, and you have, there's gonna be some shadows coming in from right here. So you're gonna add some little shadows right here. There's gonna be a little bit of some shadows right here. These are your cast shadows. So remember, your cast shadow is shining anywhere where there might be shadows. You're going to want to get cast shadows this way. Again, this is going to go in the same direction as the southwest line. And you want to make sure that this is a defined line, so make this a little bit darker. You don't want those lines to get lost. So if I do that darker there, I'm probably going to do it darker here. This will probably have a pretty light. I want to make sure that you can still see that line. And there's a cast shadow shining down this way. And that's about it. So after you're finished making your cast shadows, you are done. There's lots of different things you can do with this, guys. There are so many like fun activities, really creative ways you can do advanced level sphere. So I'll just show you those in just a second. Just might want to go back and just kind of refine your drawing. Wipe off the eraser, and there you go. Okay, so I'm going to show you the bonus challenge. So here is the book. Here is some bonus challenges. This is kind of basically the same. This person built up. This one has a crazy little house. There's a round window right there. They put the arches on the bottom. Here are some more. Someone made a castle. Somebody built really, really tall up. They kept going and going and going, or actually probably started here and went down. This is also showing that you can use what you are learning to actually do actual things. This is a student drawing a spa. So there's lots of different cool creative things you can do. Take some time to make another one, but be creative with it. All right, awesome job.